Welcome to Unsung Heroes with Johnny, Daniel, James, and Sam. Our goal is to leave no hero unsung. Welcome to the Unsung Heroes podcast. I'm Johnny, and I'm joined by a few of my friends. We have James.
Hello.
We have Samuel.
Hello.
And we have Daniel.
What's up, guys?
Wow, he just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I don't know why my first thought...
I can disappear out of nowhere too. Watch.
Oh my!
Where'd he go?
Wow.
Where is he?
My first thought was like you as like a fish with like...
He's like coming to the surface or something.
Yeah.
It did sound like a fish.
Oh, well.
Like you swam towards us and then you swam away.
I was fishing for a compliment. Never mind.
Oh, man.
Okay.
All right. How's everyone been? How's everyone doing?
Good.
Yeah, I hope all the listeners at home are doing well. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm doing great. James, how are you?
I'm doing very well. We are in the process of getting a house right now, which has been stressful.
Moving up in the world.
Yeah, I know, right? But some of you may or may not know, but my wife and I are going to be moving here pretty soon. So we're going to be doing a couple more episodes here in our slightly truncated format until I move, and then we're going to hopefully see what our next steps are. But yeah, it's been quite a journey. So
where are you moving, James?
Well, I'm going to Tennessee, and I have never lived there, but I've been there, like it a lot, cool place, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, how are you guys doing?
Well, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Screw you guys.
You don't sound good, Daniel.
Well, traveling like the way I do with the bloobs takes its toll on me.
There's a lot of
It takes
effort.
a lot of time.
Wow, yeah.
So-
I can imagine. Thanks so much for joining us once again. To our listeners, we have a pretty interesting episode here. We'll be talking about someone named Rachel Carson. And I actually don't know anything about her because it is Daniel who will be telling us. So
why'd you say it's going to be an interesting episode, Johnny?
because they're all interesting episodes.
Oh, thanks,
Checkmate.
man.
They're all
I
interesting
appreciate-
episodes.
He was confident in your presentation that
Yes,
you will
I
be giving us.
appreciate
Johnny's
for
exposed,
your
yeah.
confidence in me. Yes.
I can't hear the name Rachel Carson and be bored. Okay, it's just
She sounds like a spy, like Agent Carson, doesn't that?
No, it is.
the
It is
sound?
it is an interesting one. The one I picked today. It's a lady by the name of Rachel Louise Carson. I wanted to kind of steer away from ancient warfare for a second because that's kind of what I've been doing recently, and I wanted to shift my focus back towards science. And in a sense, this kind of reminded me of the Vivian Thomas episode of someone who comes from poverty and has some good scientific / medical achievements. So that is the way that Rachel Carson goes. Because she was an American marine biologist turned author turned conservationist.
wow.
That's a lot of twists and turns there.
Yeah.
I feel like marine biology is such a vast science. Like, there's parts
Kind
of
of
the
like the ocean,
No, I feel like but literally there's parts of the ocean that haven't been explored and creatures that haven't been discovered. And so it's just always changing,
What year was this, Daniel?
You guys would think I would never do something like this because I hate the big, deep blue ocean.
Do you really?
We actually just watched The Life of Pi for the first time.
Yeah, that'll turn anybody
you
off to
hate
the
it.
ocean, I think.
Oh
Yeah.
man, one day it's sink in like what is it, the deepest part of the ocean
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
in the world? Oh man, I get uneasy just talking about it. I don't know why. It's one of my most irrational fears, I feel like. But
So,
I just-
there's a name for that, which is called thalassophobia.
Oh yes, I've unfortunately stumbled upon the subreddit before and blocked it from my Google searches. So.
Yeah, the subreddit r/thalassophobia is really funny because it's for people who have thalassophobia, except all it shows is pictures of the deep ocean.
That makes
So it's
no
like-
sense.
It's like people, I don't
Like
know.
exposure therapy, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
the desired effect is that you get exposed to your fear so much that you can become conditioned to not be afraid of it anymore.
like-
right?
Yeah,
It's
right.
just masochism at that point.
I used to have thalassophobia But then I joined the subreddit, and I'm doing fine now.
Yeah, I know.
And it got worse.
Or you could be like, I used to not have thalassophobia, and then I joined the subreddit, and now I do.
That's probably what it do to me,
Yes,
honestly.
too true.
Wow.
Well, why don't you go ahead and dive into her life?
Let's do it. So James, sorry I never answered your question. She was born in 1907.
Okay,
so we
yeah.
are looking in that time period. She was born in Pennsylvania, and growing up, it's noted that she loved reading, and she especially loved reading about the natural world and the ocean. And as we know, she becomes a marine biologist. So
Spoiler. Yeah.
yeah, she's always been super smart. She graduates high school at the top of her class of 40 students. In college, she goes to the Pennsylvania College for Women and first studies English, but then switches to biology. But her writing is just so good that she keeps writing for the school's newspaper and helps out with other like editorial stuff. And she's actually admitted to Johns Hopkins University her senior year.
Wow.
But she has to remain at this college for her senior year due to financial difficulties. She actually had the chance to go ahead on just move over to Johns Hopkins. But so she graduates from Pennsylvania in 1929, and then she enters Johns Hopkins University, and there she gets her master's in zoology.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she knows what she wants to do, and she's going that way. So following this, she really wanted to get her doctorate right away, but she had to get a job to aid her family during the Great Depression. And then to make matters worse, in 1935, her father died. So the financial situation for her family just became even worse. So she had to kind of take on even more of that burden. And then she is encouraged by her undergrad mentor, Mary Scott Skinker, to
Whoa,
work-
hold up. What was her name?
Mary Scott Skinker.
Man, that's a name. Wow.
That is a
Sorry,
name,
keep
James.
going. That just-
Jeez,
yeah.
so immature. So she's encouraged to work at a temporary position with the U.S. Bureau of Fisheries.
Wait,
Wow.
okay, wait a
Okay,
minute.
so you comment on Skinker, but not on the U.S. Bureau of
I was about to
Fisheries.
say, I feel like there's some kind of pun here, but I couldn't think of one.
Come on, James. Come on. You're like Piers from Community. You're like, wait,
Oh.
there's something there.
There's a joke in here. I know it.
It was such a softball that I couldn't like even fathom how easy it was to make a pun out of that, you know?
Yeah,
Just
well, that's okay.
You could just disappear and go blah, 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 blah.
yeah, that seems to work this podcast. Yeah.
See, yeah, it ties into the sea nature of this. Anyway, so she joins the U.S. Bureau of Fisheries, writing radio copy for a weekly educational series on aquatic life. And this series is designed to generate public interest in fish biology and the work that this U.S. Bureau does. And she actually achieves quite a significant amount of success, which is pretty new to this bureau because no one really had cared about it too much before. So she's able to garner a lot of public interest in it. And because of her work in that, she becomes the second woman hired by the Bureau of Fisheries for a full-time position. And her title at this point is Junior Aquatic Biologist. So she knows her stuff. And what's incredible to me is not only is she a genius in that field, it's also coupled, again, remember she loved reading and then she studied English a little in college. She is really skilled at writing. So she really puts those things together really well.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like a lot of people who are into biology or science are usually like all into one thing and not so good at others.
Yeah, very specialized these days.
But she
Exactly,
seems to really have a lot of skills across the board.
You know what I think is also kind of funny is today you're always kind of told, oh, don't go to college for, English or history or something in the arts, because what you really need for the workforce is a science, STEM degree. But the funny thing is that she's working in that field, but what's I think her moneymaker right now is the writing, I guess, which is
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
Exactly. Yeah, it is. No, you make a great point, James, because
Yeah.
I'm sure she already had a knack for it, but her being able to study that it really enables her to increase her skills.
You
in
hear
it.
Samuel in the background going, "That's right, man.
Yes,
that's
right. Take that, all you people, all you
Right.
skeptics.
Just for those who don't know, Samuel was an English major.
Yep.
Right,
Yeah,
Sam?
that was my specialty. And what I was going to mention is writing really is one of those things that you can just get so much farther in any field you choose just by being a good communicator, a good
so
writer.
true.
That's true.
So especially like in these sciences, I can imagine. Well, I don't know necessarily how much writing is emphasized, but you would just be ahead of the game if you can write and communicate to your audience pretty well. And so I'm sure that just was a huge advantage for her.
Yeah, it certainly was. And okay, this comes into play again really soon. But before we jump ahead, in her new position, she is finding success slowly. Obviously, she's really good at what she does, and like we've already talked about, she's also a really good communicator. So this helps her just be a good fit for her position. In 1937, unfortunately, her older sister dies, and this causes her to become the sole breadwinner for her mother and her two nieces. So this kind of sets her back, unfortunately, but she still is able to find time to keep researching and to keep writing. And she, even in this time, is able to turn a collection of her essays on the topics of marine biology into a book because publishers like them a lot. But unfortunately, it sells pretty poorly, so it doesn't really go anywhere. She attempts to leave the Bureau, which by that point has become the United States Fish and Wildlife Service, which I think the Bureau of Fisheries is a better name, but
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer the Bureau of Fishies.
Well,
Good one.
yeah. All right. Coming from the English major here, that's fine.
So
He's
sophisticated.
like, trust me, I'm a good communicator.
So she attempts to leave in 1945, but there were very few jobs for naturalists available because majority of the money at this time for science was being sent to technical fields because of the Manhattan Project. So a lot of the money for science was not being, given to the natural areas that she was working in. And then in the mid 1940s, right around this time as well, is when she first encounters the subject of DDT, which is a revolutionary new pesticide. And it is said to be kind of like quote unquote insect bomb of the time. And, people are starting to use this a lot on crops and a lot of foods, but it was really only now beginning to undergo tests for safety and ecological effects after it was already being used.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of one of her things in the horizon that she was keeping an eye on, but editors found the subject unappealing, so she has to drop it and isn't able to go back to it until much later. And then things do look up for her, guys. In 1950, she writes The Sea Around Us, which is, it's kind of like a poetic book, but also kind of like a science book. And it's about the history and makeup of the seas.
Wow.
Oh.
And
Wow.
it achieves massive success. And it becomes the New York Times bestseller for 86 weeks.
Wow.
Dude.
I didn't even know that there was a book like that on the
Wow.
I know.
bestseller list. for
So
that long.
again, she's one of the people who in her time was fairly well known, especially as this book came out. A lot of scientists and everyone are really liking this, but also the general public is really enjoying it because it's poetic. It's written really pretty. She's able to communicate.
This isn't like a novel, is it? Is it like just like a nonfiction, I guess?
The genre for the book is listed as nature writing.
Okay.
So it's like poeticized nature writing, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like a nonfiction or like a poetry sort of thing
Yeah.
about the natural environment.
Just kind of like a creative
Yeah.
nonfiction description.
Yeah, so it's not like Great Expectations, but
So can I just say, this is like, it's really impressive that it was a bestseller for that long because like I've looked into some of the background behind how the bestseller list works. And you know how almost every book that you see always says on it, New York Times bestseller, or,
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
or New York Times bestselling author. Like, how you see a lot of books say that. Well, the reason is because publishers are very strategic with when they publish books. They try to publish books during certain weeks when there won't be a lot of competition for their specific genre and for their specific like book that's coming out. So they'll be like let's say a new fantasy novel is coming out. They try to pick a week when there's no other fantasy novel coming out or no other big name one, and so then they can be like the only one, get a lot of sales in like that first week, and then like technically hit the bestseller list just from that week, and then say that they're a New York Times bestseller. But for someone to remain on the list for that long,
That's
Oh, yeah.
that means it's like across the board, like super high
Like
seller.
loved by everyone.
yeah, and it's it's just incredible to me because in our day and age, I feel like you never see mostly a scientific book
Right.
be a huge bestseller and everyone's reading it, so it might be popular among the academic crowd, but you don't really have just your average person reading it. So
Yeah.
she clearly wrote it in such a way that it appealed to everyone.
I think it was around World War II and a little bit beyond that a lot of the first, I guess, was it sonar or radar, the first kind of exploration made of the massive Atlantic Ocean and the transatlantic ridge, that like huge mountain range that kind of goes between the continents. I think a lot of that was actually first kind of being discovered then as well. So I'm sure the kind of those advances in submarine technology and radar, sonar, whatever's going on there, I'm sure that also prompted a lot of new discovery, which would have been really fascinating to people to hear for the first time.
And people were probably realizing for the first time how mysterious and deep the ocean is.
Oh, yeah.
And not really acknowledging it beforehand, but now suddenly, coming to that realization, it must have been wild.
Yeah, no, that's a great point because she then writes 2 more books on it. Well, the third one's kind of a reissued version of the first, but the whole trilogy explores kind of the whole life of the ocean from its beginning to how it's gotten here. So when you take that incredible scientific fact and you put it in words that really make people want to read it. She achieves incredible success, and with that also came financial success. And so at this point, she's pretty much set for a really long time, which made me really happy. I feel I was just like,
Doesn't
you
happen
go,
to
girl.
many of our unsung heroes.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So because of this, because she has the financial stability now, she's able to go back and tackle DDT, that pesticide we talked about before.
Ooh.
So this is kind of when she makes the switch to become a conservationist. And in the late 1950s, she turns her attention fully to this, and especially to the problems that were caused by some synthetic pesticides. I mean, she wasn't the first one to come up with this idea by no means. There were already other scientists who were looking into the harmful effects of pesticides and similar chemicals. So she gets the literature of these people and combines it with her personal connections with many government scientists that she has. So she takes advantage of her networking, which is very smart. And she's able to get confidential information from them. And she starts writing a book called The Silent Spring, which documents the harmful effects of pesticides. And she does this especially to educate the general public, and 2, to garner political support to fight the pesticides.
Wow.
And I love how she, again, combines what she does really well, science, but combines it with writing to get kind of the people behind her and to educate the general public with it.
That's so cool. It just
so
shows you
smart.
how powerful that tool of just writing books
Exactly.
is. Like, to have that much influence on the general public.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's such a powerful tool that can be used so well.
Yeah,
Man.
and she very smartly is right before publishing. At this time, she is going through cancer treatments, unfortunately, so she's kind of becoming weaker and weaker. And she knows she's going to get huge opposition from many chemical companies and lobbyists. So before publishing, very smartly, she is already starting to garner support for it. And one of the main ways she does this is she sends proof copies to many prominent politicians and to scientists. So that those people can kind of be involved in the writing of this book. But also, I'm sure if you get a proof copy from a fairly well-known scientist and author, you're going to kind of feel like, oh, I'm in her circle. You got me, I got you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
She kind of garners the support that way too. And just as she expected, right before it's coming out, a lot of chemical companies opposed the publication and were trying to get it shut down because obviously what she's going to release to the public is going to make their work much harder.
Yeah.
But she's able to get her book through, and her book becomes a huge success. And again, kind of like going back to the sea around us and getting people's attention to the ocean. With this, she's able to bring on environmental concerns to an unprecedented share of the American people. So all of a sudden, a lot more people in the US are aware of what's going on with pesticides and chemicals and food growth and all that.
Wow.
And she's able to get that support with her book, and it leads to a nationwide ban on DDT and many other pesticides.
Wow.
Ooh,
So she does it, guys. And
that's right.
it's kind of she's also listed as one of the kind of inspirations to lay the foundations of the environmental movement in the U.S. that eventually started the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
Wow.
So
I'm just impressed that, she's able to fight off the big chemical companies because
Their whole livelihoods are probably based on that, right?
Yeah,
So they're like,
seriously.
Yeah.
we got to shut this down.
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
so proud of her for sticking up.
Samuel, how does it feel to have your entire major vindicated so strongly in this podcast? That's my question.
That's probably been the biggest defense of an English program I've heard in a long time.
Seriously, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
you're
learn to write,
welcome,
people.
Sam.
That's powerful stuff.
It really is, though. It's one of those things that, like, the humanities, especially English and other communication degrees, just being able to use tools to share information with the public in a way that they otherwise wouldn't understand. It's just, I don't know, so needed nowadays. I think.
Next time you go outside and smell the fresh air, just say, "Thank you, English department."
Yeah.
We've gotten some weird things for saying thank you to. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, English.
If
Thank
people
you.
took our advice on this podcast, there'd be a lot of like people giving them weird stares.
Just say thank you, the written word.
Thank you, O texts.
Texts. Oh, texts. I sing an ode to thee.
By the end of this podcast, everybody will just go around thanking everybody for everything.
Hey, if everybody did that, I think this would be a better world.
Hey,
You know,
you're
I
probably
think so
right.
too.
The goal of this podcast has gone beyond leaving no hero unsung, but to thank.
Spread thankfulness.
Leave literally nothing unsung.
Yeah.
We should change our slogan to thankfulness.
Yeah, thankfulness.
And
What was
gratitude.
what was the other one we did in the other episode? Thank you. What was it?
We did the one about air conditioning. We did about
Ignaz Semmelweis, washing
Semmelweis
your
washing
hands.
your
Thanks.
hands.
Washing your hands.
We did. Norman Barlog was no pain, no grain.
Yeah.
Wow. I like that one.
We had some good T-shirt ideas that
Oh,
never
no.
came to fruition, but that's
never know.
So this one is thank you, English majors.
Yes, thank you, English. So she's posthumously awarded later on the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Jimmy Carter. So you can't really say that no one knows about her. She's fairly well known in that, but the general public doesn't necessarily know her name.
For sure.
So we want to make sure that people give credit where credit is due, and know one of the starters of the environmental movement.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So she continues slightly. She doesn't have too many years left, unfortunately, after the book is released. But she kind of continues to defend herself and the science behind it. But like I mentioned, she was going through cancer treatments because she had breast cancer during this time, and the doctors find out that she has severe anemia, which is a decrease of red blood cells.
Yeah.
Which comes due to radiation treatments. And the cancer eventually reaches her liver. And then she dies of a heart attack on April 14th, 1964.
Oh,
So just about a couple years after her book Silent Spring is out, which is the book she's most well known for, even more than The Sea Around Us. So I can only imagine how much more impact she would have. Because, every book she releases, she just keeps peaking more and more. So kind of a sad end there, but
yeah.
very much to be thankful for this woman and the things that she's done.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It sounds like she was very, very influential for sure. Well, thanks, Daniel. Thanks for sharing with
Yeah.
us.
Absolutely,
It
man.
was super,
thank you.
super cool. And it was interesting, just like I said it would be.
I feel like my major has been represented well.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank
So-
you, English.
I'm very grateful.
You're welcome, Samuel.
Thank you.
All right. So we're going to get to work on a song here. James has a mandolin, if you can hear it in the background there.
What if we just play the Rite of Spring, but call it like the Rite of parentheses silent spring?
Lord have mercy. That's a hard song to play, man. That'd be impossible. All right. Well, I will. I wrote down some lyrics here, kind of on the spot, so they might not be foolproof in terms of how they stand up to the actual playing of the song, but we'll see how it goes.
They have to be as good as the sea around us.
Oh no.
Ooh.
So according to your perspective, not great or great?
So you have to win a New York Times
Yeah,
bestseller.
this has to
Oh.
be on the charts for 187 weeks.
It has to defy its genre.
Well, I feel like if I release it when no one else is releasing anything, I mean,
That's
I probably
true.
have a
Hey,
good
there you
chance.
Yes.
It's all a publishing ploy.
Hey, I just want this to hit over 100 of podcasts of the month in history in Switzerland.
in Switzerland.
That'd
The
be our new
Swiss-
record.
The
I
Swiss
think
are
you're
always
setting
with us.
your expectations a little high.
Well,
there.
we peaked at what, 107?
Yeah.
So we're almost
number
there,
107
guys.
in Switzerland. Hey, all you Swiss out there, we know you ain't neutral about this podcast.
All four of you, come on, let's hear
Come
it.
on,
Yeah,
provoke.
if you tell just one person, we could probably be in like 70th place. So
Dude, we're throwing some shade.
We
Hey, you
no,
know-
listen, we really appreciate all of our
No, we
listeners
do.
in Switzerland.
What if like every Swiss actually listens to podcasts?
Who
And
knows?
we're
Hey,
we're
we should
actually
put
really high
on
up
like
there.
our social media posts number 107 in history podcast in Switzerland. It's like
in
something-
February. It's
Yeah.
only in February.
Okay.
now.
make it
Only in
some big
February.
announcement, yeah.
Man.
All right. I feel like the month of June is our month for Switzerland, guys.
do it.
We're
one-
retaking the motherland.
or
one's for
if any other
Switzerland.
countries want an honorable mention, please go ahead and step up your game.
That's true. If we rank in any other country, we will shout you out just as much as Switzerland.
We are so desperate. We could rank 323rd. I don't care. Just let
rank.
us rank.
I don't think they rank them that far, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's get to this song.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's give this a go. See how this is. Top of the class with smarts to spare. Learn the world's beauty beyond compare. Tell the whole world about the great blue sea. Making strides in fish biology. Tragedy came, she lifted the load. For her family, she tried to go home. Her words inspired the whole world to see. Breathtaking ocean and vast open seas. DDT is bad. So bad. DDT is bad. So bad. DDT is bad.
It's bad for the environment, y'all.
There it is. There it is.
Nice. Very
Wow.
nice.
Thanks, James. That was great.
Yeah, I felt like the ending really landed there. You know, just,
Yeah,
just
I just
Yeah, I
wanted to
think
come out and
so.
say it.
You just
very,
took it
very
home.
atonal and asynchronic. Just kind of punches you. You know, right there. It's real deep. You know.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thanks once again, Daniel. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
Super cool. All right. Any other thoughts, guys?
Well, study your English, write your papers,
That's right.
Yeah.
and you might get a
Yes.
field in science or get a study in science one day.
Keep the oceans clean and the pesticides non-existent.
Well,
Well,
I feel,
not
I feel like
completely. I feel like pesticides are, important.
Some
Anyway,
We quite benefit from many pesticides.
I know nothing about this.
do
I don't
your
need to
do
talk.
your research on pesticides
That's
before
right.
you
before you drink them. What?
before you apply them to your crops.
Oh gosh.
All right. Well, thanks so much for listening, everybody. We will see you on the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye.